Okay, let's talk about disappointing beauty products that I have tried out recently, because I got some feelings about them. Oddly, most of these are in like pen style format. I don't really know how that happened. Okay, before I get into the makeup, I have to talk about this one hairstyling product. I know I don't really talk about hair stuff on this channel because really I just don't find it that interesting, but I have to tell you not to go buy this thing because I just think it's absolute garbage. This is the Garnier Fructis Style Hold and Flex Ultimate 24-Hour Control Spray. Okay, number one, I take issue with the fact that it says hold and flex because this stuff does not flex when you put it on your hair. So I picked this up, I don't know where I was. I must have been traveling because there's no other reason that I buy a travel format of this. And I couldn't bring my like big canister of my got-to-be favorite hair spray. So I picked this thing up because you hear enough about Garnier, you hear enough about Fructis that I just figured it would be good. Holy cow. Okay, so this holds my hair in place really well. There's no flex to it. It will hold your hair in place. It's pretty crusty, but hey, it's holding my hair in place. The major issue that I have with this thing is that when I went to go wash this out of my hair, I couldn't get it out. I could not get it out of my hair. Most hairspray, I feel like when it makes contact with water, it just sort of dissolves, or at least that's how my Pantene one has worked and my favorite Got2b one has worked. When I get in the shower and it hits the water, or the water hits my hair, it just kind of like falls out. And if I lather my hair with shampoo, because that's what I'm doing in the shower, it just comes out of my hair easily, seamlessly. I don't know what this stuff is made out of other than glue, because I would lather my hair up and it just like bunched together. It was just like a mass of sticky, clumpy hair. And I was like, oh, I'm in deep trouble. Like, what the heck am I gonna do? So I washed my hair once, twice, and then 3 times to get this garbage thing out of my hair. It is so bad that I would never even put this in a discard pile. Like, I don't want anybody out there to try this thing because it is so hard to get it out of your hair. It's going straight in the garbage. No one should be trying this thing. If you have tried this, please tell me about your experience with it, because I can't believe that this thing is on the market when it behaves that way. Washing my hair 3 times to remove it is madness. And even then, I just felt like it still had residue in my hair. So, ugh, I would never recommend this thing. That wasn't even something I was going to include in this video because I really only talk about makeup, but I just felt like that is something that the public needs to know about. Okay, next. Oh, this one kind of pains me. I posted a good review on it on my blog, but I think I'm gonna have to go back and re-edit that post because I just don't feel the same about it anymore. This is the Too Faced Better Than Sex Easy Glide Waterproof Liquid Eyeliner in the shade Deepest Black, although I think they only make one. I was really excited for this because I love brush tip pen style liquid liners, and I used to at least really like the brand Too Faced. Lately they've just, I'm not loving it as much. There's just been so many launches where I'm like, it's boring, I'm not interested. Anyway, I was really excited because this was a true brush tip applicator, which means that it's more of a calligraphy pen. It's easier to draw on your eyes. I love the Physicians Formula Eye Booster. That is, I would say, hands down my favorite one ever. But I wanted to try the one by Too Faced because I'm still hunting for one that is perfectly matte. This one, anyway, is not matte, so that really doesn't matter. But this is, I think, double the price of the Physicians Formula one, and it's just significantly worse. The first week or 2 that I used it, and that's what created the blog post review, it was actually pretty good. I didn't have any issues with it. It glided on my eyes seamlessly. Yes, it's more expensive, but it was performing really well. And I was like, okay, good. It's a great option to have if you want to buy something from Sephora that's a little bit more expensive. But over time, I've just felt that it's harder and harder to get product out to the tip. And it's not because I'm using it up, because I've only been using this for a month and a half. Okay, well, actually, maybe there just isn't a ton of product in here and that's why I'm having an issue. So maybe there's less product in here than the Physicians Formula one, which will last me 3 to 4 months without issue. But the other problem is that the little hairs that make up this brush tip have started to splay out. And that causes havoc when you're creating a winged eyeliner and you've got like a few hairs sticking out at a different angle than the rest of the tip, because then all of a sudden you're drawing this weird winged liner with like a few hairs sticking up. So that was really irritating, and I would try to like mush it together to try to like pinch it into place, but for whatever reason it continues to splay out. I'm gonna hopefully show this up close enough that you can see, but it's no longer like a pointed tip. It's literally like somebody took scissors to it, chopped it off, and then flattened it out, and it doesn't come to a pointed tip anymore. And no matter how many times I try to squeeze it together to get it to reform itself, so I've been having this horrible time dealing with this brush tip that just won't stay a pointed edge. Like it's just become this chisel tip, which you would think that maybe that could help you out. But first of all, this wasn't billed as a chisel tip end, and I shouldn't have to deal with the fact that a product that is close to 30 bucks is starting to splay out at the ends, causing me problems when I'm applying my liner. So over time, this just became problematic to use because it won't stay pointed and the ink is just not coming out as well as it used to. I have actually cleaned it. I took a cotton round with a little bit of micelle solution on it and kind of rubbed it around, and that works for my other ones, but that doesn't seem to be working either. It'll work for the first time, but then it'll get gunked back up again. So honestly, I'm just so annoyed because I don't feel like I should be done with it either. I used it that 1 or 2 weeks before I put my review up, but then I went back to finish up another product, and I've only been using this again now for about a month, and I just, there might be ink stuff still left in it, but I can't deal with it anymore. Like it's just too problematic. So I'm annoyed because this should have performed better for the price tag. Okay, next we have a whole bunch of brow type products, and this is what I meant when everything's kind of like cylindrical. So first we have the Quo Tri-Tip Microblading Pen. I have 2 different shades, although that doesn't really matter. There's deep ash here and the other one's warm blonde. And I was initially kind of excited about this because it does have a tri-tip end, and I thought that was going to help me use that to create little brow hairs, because I'm not very good at my brows and I'm always looking for something that's gonna kind of help me out to create little hairs where I don't have them. This thing just won't work. Like it just won't work. First stroke, fine. It does create little brow hairs. So I did that at the front part of my brow. But then I tried to create more brow hairs, and honestly, it just kind of like bled together. So the little tri-tip wasn't really doing what it's supposed to do. Could be user error, I'll acknowledge that. But the weird thing about this is that it was depositing product and it was getting kind of goopy. Like it was just getting thick. It was like I was applying a gel-based product to my brows, and because I kept drawing them on, trying to get a better looking brow, it was just gunking up more and more, to the point where when I finally gave up and tried to remove them, it was like removing a bunch of gel and hairspray from my eyebrows. It was a really strange experience. I can't really liken it to anything else that I have done with my brows, but I did not enjoy the experience, and I will not be using these going forward. I think I tried a few times to get them to work and I just gave up because the product either wasn't coming out enough to create brow hairs or was coming out too much that I had goop on my brows. So honestly, like, no thank you, ma'am. I am not using this anymore. And then the other brow product that I was using, I have no luck with these brow pens is what I'm noticing. So this is the Revlon Color Stay Brow Shape and Glow in the shade Taupe. Kind of interesting. You've got a pen applicator on the front, not something I'm super experienced with, but I wanted to give it a shot. And then the other end is one of these like poofy little brow powder things, so you put it below your brow to like blend it out. I don't really care about that end, but I was really excited to try the little microblading tip. The first few strokes were miraculous. I can only describe them as completely epic and beautiful, and it looked so gorgeous. And I was like, yes, I found a holy grail product. I can't wait to use this for the rest of my life. And then it just stopped working. It just stopped working. I was trying to apply this to the rest of my brows and the product just wouldn't come out to the tip anymore. I wonder if it does now. Oh, a little bit. Okay, now it's performing. This is really irritating. I feel like this has happened to me a few times in disappointing products where all of a sudden it starts to work. So the issue was that I would use it a few times and it looked really good, which it does right now. But the more I used it, the less was coming out to the tip. And then all of a sudden I couldn't draw anything on anymore. So I would like mash it around in my hand, like trying to get as much product out as I could, like try to get it to travel down to the tip. And it would do a great job of pooling in a particular area, but I could never draw the hairs anymore. And initially I thought that was because I'd left it like this on my vanity, and I was like, okay, just leave it in a cup overnight, let the ink drain down to the edge, or to the tip, and then try it again. Tried it again, same sort of issue. I would try a few hairs, it looked great, beautiful, and then keep going, and it just wouldn't come out to the edge of the felt tip. I could not get this to perform past 3 strokes of hair without it, you know, pooling together or not even coming out to the edge of the tip. So I don't know if it's something that I am doing, but I'm getting really annoyed because I want to try these marker things for my brows. So please, if you know of a brand that works really well, please let me know, because this Revlon one doesn't work, the Quo one doesn't work, and I'm tired of it. Actually, you know how I just said that now it was looking nice on my hand? It's actually bled out here, which is a new issue because before it wasn't bleeding out anywhere. So I don't know, I just don't like it. So the next product, it makes me kind of sad because my mom just picked it up for me and I was really excited to have it because I always wanted a crystal glass file for my nails, because I've mentioned before, but when I use a regular emery board, while I do enjoy them and they do a good job, I feel like I go through them so quickly because I file down my nails so much. So I wanted a crystal or glass nail file because the rough edges are etched into it and they don't just pop off like they do on a regular emery board. And I hadn't picked one of these up for myself yet, but my mom just happened to buy one and then bought one for me as well, which was really nice. And I hate it. I hate it so much. I cannot stand the feeling of filing my nails down with this thing. It feels like nails on a chalkboard. It is so creepy. It is so cringy. I did my nails, I think it was last week, with this to file them down, and I made it through 3 nails and I was like, I can't do it anymore. I cannot do it. It is so uncomfortable. My skin is crawling when I'm using this, and I don't know if it's just, even just pulling it out of the package makes me cringe. I don't know if it's this one in particular or if it's crystal files in general, but I'm not using any more of these glass things because I just cannot stand the feeling of it. It is just the worst sensation. I'm getting shivers just thinking about it. It was miserable. And my mom asked me what I thought about it. And I was like, it's awful. Like, I cannot use this. She's like, that's fine, just bring it back to me. But she did admit that it felt a little bit strange to her as well. So it's not just me. I hate that thing. So that is it for disappointing products. I hope you found this interesting. Let me know if you've used any of these things that I've talked about and what your opinions on them are. Maybe you think the same way as I do, or maybe you have a completely different opinion. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I will see you next time. Bye.